Hello, my name is Lawrence A. Robinson. On Tuesday, April 17th, the Don Miller Radio Show did a segment discussing an article I had written which appeared in the West Orlando News. Some of the things that he, his staff, and guests said were questionable or misleading. I recorded the program, and here I will try to explain some of the more interesting parts. Now, this is the second installment of the show. We had such a great response from the first, we thought we'd do it again. If this segment is as good as the first, maybe we will do a third. The first segment starts after Don Miller and staff return from a commercial break.
And also, we're going on an article written by Mr. Robinson in the West Orlando News, who, quite frankly, his headline is "We Don't Need Another Walmart in West Orlando." And joining us here on the Don Miller Show, Bishop Allen Wiggins. He's the pastor of the Hope Church of Orlando. They just recently lured a Walmart grocery store into the Washington Shores area, which was a challenge, quite frankly. And so he's joining us to kind of talk about it.
Okay, this is Lawrence Robinson again. You heard Don Miller say that it was a challenge to lure Walmart into our neighborhood? Lure Walmart? Are you serious? Neighborhoods and communities are using lawyers and threats to try and keep Walmart out of their areas. And we are luring them in? Why? If we really wanted to help the neighborhood, why not lure black businesses into the neighborhood? Why not face the challenge of luring black consumers to spend with those black businesses in the neighborhood? Why don't we lure the Black Business Investment Fund and the African American Chamber of Commerce into committing to a positive agenda in the neighborhood, instead of luring Walmart, who will suck the life out of the community? Why are we luring Walmart again?
We've got banking needs in our community. We've got other restaurant needs, all of these educational needs, just one thing after another. And we believe that this grocery store is just one more component of what it's going to take to increase the foot traffic in our community, is to increase the flow of traffic through our community so that the community can partake in all of the money that passes by our community on a day-to-day basis.
Okay, this is Lawrence Robinson again. Bishop said that we have banking needs, restaurant needs. Okay, we've got the Urban Trust Bank, a black-owned bank less than 2 blocks away from where the Walmart will be built. An easy walk. We have the Soul Food Kitchen, an eat-in restaurant less than 1 block away. We have Chef Eddie's eat-in restaurant right around the corner from that. As a matter of fact, I had breakfast this Tuesday morning, and man, was it good at Chef Eddie's. Even Chef Eddie sat down at our table for a minute. Okay, and then across the street and around the corner, we have the Washington Shores Fish, where yesterday my daughter bought me lunch. Lots of fish, great fish. Bishop also said we have educational needs, and he feels that the grocery store is one component of things needed to increase foot traffic in our community and flow of traffic through our community. Hopefully we will be able to catch some of the money as it passes by on its way to other communities. You see, this is what I don't get. Why don't the pastors ask their congregations to visit Soul Food Kitchen or Chef Eddie's, or if they want to take out, get a great fish sandwich or barbecue dinner from local black businesses already there? Why not grow the businesses that we already have? We have 2 great restaurants that would love to expand if they could depend on more business. Instead of trying to catch money from people passing by who don't care about our neighborhood, let's work with the people we already have. Let's tell them what we want. Let's tell them what we need. If they're anything like Chef Eddie, they will deliver. Does that make sense? Can we work on a plan for us instead of a plan for Walmart?
Real quickly, let me ask you about unemployment, which was another point that this gentleman makes. He says exchanging unemployment checks for minimum wage pay and a 32-hour work week will not help. In fact, he goes on to say it will make matters worse. And what do you say to that?
I'm saying that I don't know exactly where the writer is getting all of his information, and I do believe that he is looking at the super centers and drawing from material that was published some time ago. But this, again, is not the same in terms of comparables. This is about a neighborhood grocery store. So it's not the same. And we've already spoken to the people that are coming here, and they have assured us better than minimum wage. They've assured us jobs from within our community, and we're using the same training model that was used on the Princeton store up the street. So we're kind of very content and happy about what we've lobbied for in order to make sure that people in our community are employed and they're receiving higher than minimum wage.
Okay, this is Larry Robinson again. Okay, I think that was D'Amica Page asking that question of Bishop Wiggins. Wow, that segment almost answers itself. Let's just look at the numbers. The average unemployment check is about $250 a week. If you're getting unemployment, you got time to take a class so that you can get a better job. You could pay child care for your children while looking for work. You have time to look for work and not worry about eating and keeping clothes and a roof over your head. Now, on the other hand, if you're working for Walmart, making minimum wage is about $7 and change, but let's go higher than minimum wage. Let's say you're getting $8 an hour. Well, Walmart doesn't let you work 40 hours. 32 hours is their full time. So let's say you're working $8 an hour. You're making $8 an hour. You're working 32 hours a week. That's about $256 a week. But that's before tax. If you want to take a class, you don't have time. You can't afford child care and class and food. You are locked into a position with no way out. This is self-induced slavery. Why do we want to bring Walmart into our community and say we're creating jobs? We are not creating jobs. We're adding to the slave labor force.
Well, Bishop, before we let you go, I have a question, because when you look at Walmart historically, in terms of engaging communities, they don't have, quite frankly, the best track record. And then you look at a community like Washington Shores, where the criteria for employment in Walmart or I'm getting feedback, many of these stores, there is an element as it relates to incarceration and criminal convictions. If you look at the numbers in that community, many people have had some challenges with the law. Is there anything in place that would waive some of the criteria that Walmart already has? Because that'll turn away a lot of people.
Yes, and that's why we are partnering with several organizations to make sure that we have the job training and all of that stuff in place, as well as partnering. My phone is ringing off the hook here. As well as partnering with organizations to help position those people that have had challenges with the law so that they could be appropriately considered.
Okay, this is Lawrence Robinson again. Okay, the question is, when you get through all the stuff that Don said there, the question is there anything in place that would waive some of the criteria that Walmart already has? Okay, is there anything in place that would waive the criteria that Walmart already has? In other words, will Walmart change their standard for people in Washington Shores who might have criminal records in order for them to gain employment at Walmart? Okay, the answer that Bishop gave is yes. That is why we are partnering with several organizations to make sure we have the job training and all of that stuff in place, as well as partnering with organizations who help position those people who have had challenges with the law so that they could be appropriately considered. Okay, so the question is, will Walmart change their standard for people in Washington Shores who might have criminal records so they can gain employment at Walmart? The answer Bishop gave is yes. Now, next coming up is a caller. someone who called in. Okay, listen to this real closely.
We're going to the phone line. Hey, Greg, you're on the Don Miller Show.
Greg, this is Greg Boykin.
Hey, Greg, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Hey, Don, you need to run for a public official because we can have a good black conservative in there. Well, excuse me, I mean African American conservative.
I'm black, African American, whatever. I found out the other night that I was the N-word, so it's going to make a difference to me.
Yeah, I heard that. Listen, I am very familiar with the Walmart neighborhood. I am very familiar with the big box Walmart. But my issue is the pastor talked about dealing with groups to help train ex-offenders to be hired. Well, I do work with ex-offenders with a nonprofit called Finding Freedom, Aftercare. We deal with,
and that's a good program, Greg.
We deal with ex-offenders coming out the system. They sit down and talk to. We have a list of stores that hire ex-offenders, but the situation has changed. Walmart no longer. Well, they say Walmart hires ex-offenders, but being unemployed for the last 2 years, but I finally got a job. I went to every box store in the state. And it is hard as an ex-offender to get a job. So unless, I'm very familiar about the Washington Shores area, unless it is a handwritten guaranteed from corporate, not from the manager, not from local.
Hey, Greg, this is me and you. You know Walmart ain't hiring no ex-offenders.
Hey, well, like I'm telling you, they can say what they want to say, and I understand the pastor's intent and his good.
Yeah, and he does mean well, absolutely.
Like Walmart is Walmart, and they're not going to hire ex-offenders.
No, they're not going to do it.
Wow. Did you hear that? Let me play that again.
Hey, Greg, this is me and you. You know Walmart ain't hiring no ex-offenders.
Hey, well, like I'm telling you, they can say what they want to say, and I understand the pastor's intent and his good.
Yeah, and he does mean well, absolutely.
Like Walmart is Walmart, and they're not going to hire ex-offenders.
No, they're not going to do it.
Let me hear that one more time.
Greg, this is me and you. You know Walmart ain't hiring no ex-offenders.
Okay, that crushing sound that you hear is Bishop Wiggins as Don Miller throws him under the bus.
Greg, this is me and you. You know Walmart ain't hiring no ex-offenders.
Okay, right after Bishop Wiggins leaves, Don Miller shoves him under the bus. This doesn't surprise me. Don Miller has no character. He will say anything to anyone to try to win points. He is not loyal to anyone except himself. So if you heard this show, then you already know that everyone who called in agreed with the article that I wrote. Don Miller and staff tried to go along with Bishop Wiggins right up till the point he turned his back, and then under the bus he went. So Don Miller and staff knew the merits of this argument from the start, and yet they tried to push these things off on you that Walmart is a good deal. I have said from the beginning that I agree with Walmart's policies, but disagree with their practices. I believe that they did tell Bishop Wiggins everything that he wanted to hear. He bought into it, and now he's trying to sell it to us. Instead of selling us the Walmart lies about improving the community, let's use that energy and improve our own neighborhood. For the last 50 years, we have been going out of our community to help other communities. Let's start helping ourselves. Let's start buying from each other. Let's start supporting each other. Otherwise, the next crushing sounds that you hear will be Walmart running over Washington Shores.
The American Negro collectively is richer than most nations of the world. We have an annual income of more than $30 billion a year, which is more than all of the exports of the United States and more than the national budget of Canada. Did you know that? That's power right there if we know how to prove it.
We should own and operate and control the economy of our community. We have to become involved in a program of re-education to educate our people into the importance of knowing that when you spend your dollar out of the community in which you live, the community in which you spend your money becomes richer and richer. The community out of which you take your money becomes poorer and poorer. And because these Negroes who have been misled and misguided are breaking their necks to take their money and spend it with the man is becoming richer and richer, and you're becoming poorer and poorer. And then what happens? The community in which you live becomes a slum. It becomes a ghetto. The conditions become run down. And then you have the audacity to complain about poor housing in a rundown community. Why, you run it down yourself when you take your dollar.
We've got to strengthen black institutions. I call upon you to take your money out of the banks downtown and deposit your money in Tri-State Bank. We are telling you to follow what we are doing. Put your money there. You have 6 or 7 black insurance companies here. Take out your insurance there. Now, these are some practical things that we can do. We begin the process of building a great economic base. We've got to give ourselves to this struggle until the end. We've got to see it through.
So our people not only have to be re-educated to the importance of supporting black business, but the black man himself has to be made aware of the importance of going into business. And once you and I go into business, we own and operate at least the businesses in our community. What we will be doing is developing a situation wherein we will actually be able to create employment for the people in the community.